as tomorrow, the Senate could take up the Coronavirus Response Act aimed at helping American families impacted by the coronavirus.
Tennessee GOP Senator Marsha Blackburn will be one of those casting a vote. She joins us now. Senator, thank you very much for being here.
Absolutely. Thank you.
First of all, as you look at what's coming over from the House, your reaction to the Families First Coronavirus Act that was passed?
Yes, I want to make certain that what we do is targeted, that it is temporary, that it's not picking winners and losers. And, you know, one of the things that we have learned about stimulus as we've looked at it over the past decade, and I know Stuart remembers this, the stimulus from 2008, 2009, 2010, it really slowed down the recovery when we talk about our economy. So we need to be certain that what we are doing doesn't get in our own way. And I tell you, I'm really grateful going into this crisis that we're facing right now that we have had a strong and robust economy.
Senator, would you oppose what I would call bailing out the airlines?
Stuart, what we have to do is think about the entire supply chain. You know, you all were just talking about the cruise lines. Well, what about the dock workers? What about the entertainers or the speakers that have lost their bookings on those cruises? And I've had several in Nashville who have called and have asked me about this. They don't want the burden to end up on small business. And this is something that we're going to look at. My team is working on this today. And we've got some questions. It's not fair for the burden to land on small business.
Senator, you also have a new bipartisan bill on drug supply.
Yes.
Can you talk to us a little bit about that?
Oh, Jedediah, absolutely. And as a new mom, you look at everything that goes into the vaccines and the medications for children. And we noticed a couple of years ago, there was a shortage in some antibiotics and started looking at this issue. So before this outbreak, we were working on this legislation. It is the SAMC bill, Securing America's Medicine Cabinet. And many of the pharmaceuticals that are necessary for treating some of these viruses, and certainly the coronavirus family is one of those, they're made only in China, and we are dependent on them for these. They're called APIs, active pharmaceutical ingredients. My legislation would incentivize bringing that production back on U.S. shores. It would change some of the legislation around the FDA, Food and Drug Administration, that deals with these emerging threats and new technologies, and add advanced pharmaceutical manufacturing.
Senator, can you even more than incentivize and in some ways mandate, I mean, for reasons of national security, that we make these things here in America?
Well, you know, Pete, one of the things in the bill we do is look at this for our stockpiles and our national security issues. And we have a $100 million grant pool to establish centers of excellence for higher learning institutions to work with pharmaceutical companies on bringing this manufacturing back. We're also looking at how you could have a tax incentive that would go into this. It's not a part of the initial bill, but we're continuing to work with the Finance Committee to see if we can find a pathway to a tax incentive, much like we did with the oil industry back in the 80s.
Senator, many thanks for joining us this morning. We appreciate it.
Good to be with you. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am.
Still ahead, a couple died.